With us for more updates. We now move on. Thousands rallied on the streets of Tel Aviv, demanding a ceasefire in Gaza and a deal to release the remaining hostages held by Hamas. Protesters carried banners reading "Bring them home now," as they called on the Israeli government to end the conflict. The demonstration came after reports that both Israel and Hamas have reacted positively to the outlines of a US brokered truce deal. Let's take a listen in to what some of the protesters had to say.
The problem is that the government don't want to do any deal because they can do a deal and to release everybody now. We are protesting here also to end the war and to get back all the hostages, because this war is without any reason, without any logical, it's a political war. The government don't want to stop the war because it keeps them on the Knesset, as a parliament. They know that if they will end the war, probably the people will ask to do election to stop.
We're talking all the time about ceasefire, and Israel is keep dismissing it, and also Hamas. I have hope that it will happen, but you always have this, maybe they will throw it away, but I hope they will actually do it. I'm hopeful.
The war began on October the 7th of 2023 when Hamas attacked Israel, killing about 1,200 people and taking 251 hostages, about 50 of which are still held in Gaza. Israel's subsequent military response has killed more than 57,000 Palestinians, according to Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry. We're once again joined by Shruti Dasgupta to discuss this. Shruti, there's staunch opposition in Israel to Israel's continued war. They believe, a lot of them believe, that Netanyahu and his government, the current government of Israel, hasn't been prioritizing the safety of the hostages in Gaza. What are your thoughts on that point of view? Yes.
Well, I seem to agree with those protesters because this is a political war right now, even after the death. And I'm pretty skeptical on the numbers of 57,000 because the Gaza ministry keeps changing the numbers. They keep updating and downgrading and upgrading and downgrading. So the full count of actual impact of Israel's war, of course, will be horrendous, but not probably as large as Gaza is claiming right now.
Okay, those are the numbers that we have, though, Shruti,
yes,
from the
correct.
numbers, yes.
Correct, but I'm skeptical on those numbers, so I'm not going to comment on how many were killed or not, but I will continue to say that it's a political war, definitely. It is more of an ideology, and rather than every time Israel asks for a release of the entire hostages, Hamas refuses, because that is the only currency they have in their hands. The hostages, the dead bodies of the hostages, are the only currency they have at hand. If they hand that over to Israel, they're pretty scared that they will be obliterated or left without any recourse to sit on the negotiating table. This particular aspect is very painful to the people of Israel, who have loved ones sitting in the hands of Hamas and going through unimaginable torture. So for them, the first priority should not be the conditions of the peace that should come at the cost of their the lives and their health of their loved ones. So they are kind of done with it. It's been a very long 21-month war. It is not viable anymore for either sides to hold it. The cost of life, the cost of infrastructure, resources is too high for it to continue. And Israel is feeling the pinch. They want their people back. And it is completely correct that Netanyahu is holding on to his coalition by a bare thread of power. And if the war comes to an end and there is peace in Israel and the Gaza region, he will have to continue to hold the elections, which were held at abeyance, and he might not come back to power. So it is a very difficult situation for the people who are actually suffering due to the entire hostage situation. And I wish that Israel and the world would ensure that Hamas hands over the bodies and the live ones to hostages to the families that owe it. And it's difficult for anybody to watch their people being held month after month in a situation where nobody knows what's being done to them.
Yes, Shruti, thank you very much. We move on once again. The Israeli military has said that